excuses.
Teenager, we major, now let's go stupid. Stomping a hole in the state back up us, so go through it. How you gon' say you are just like us, but cannot do this? You and the players in your whole team, they are so useless, they useless.
It's a major.
Hey, yo, G. I just listened to the podcast. Fucking dope. I'm proud of you, man. This is sick. Keep it up. Keep on coming. Episode after episode. You're going to smash it, girl. I'll ring you after work tonight at some point in a few hours or so, yeah? Have a good day, man. Speak soon.
This episode is sponsored by Smiley, my brother. If it wasn't for receiving that voice note this morning, I would have not recorded this today. So, thank you, and I love you. Everyone follow him on Instagram at Smiley_SE18. He's an amazing artist and person. He housed me while I was in London. I appreciate you to the fullest, bro. Love. It's a major mood. Hey everyone, this is episode 2 of the MAJORMOOD Podcast, and this episode is not going to have a title yet. When I release it, you will see the title because I'll have decided on it by then. But as of right now, I'm just kind of going to let it rock because before I started this podcast, I have about 10 episodes written out. And I thought it was going to move in that direction where I do one episode after one episode. But after yesterday, I'm kind of thinking things through a little differently. Mainly because what happened yesterday, if you want to know the truth, was I just turned on my phone and hit record, and I didn't really plan out that episode, and it wound up coming out wonderful, and I've gotten a lot of great feedback, and I can't even believe that the amount of feedback I got, where people are like, keep going, we love it, we love the concept, we love, everything you said, and 2 things happened. First thing was I felt amazing, and I felt very similar to when I would release music and get good feedback on my songs. And then the second thing that happened was, and by the way, if anyone's a musician or an artist, I think we can all agree that when you record a song and you play it for someone and they think it's dope, you get on this high. You're like, whoa, I got to keep going. I got to write more. It's great. It's inspirational. You feel more inspiration to do more. And then the second emotion I felt was fear. And it had me thinking about this thin line between inspiration and fear. And because, at first I was like, wow, this is going great. Everyone loves the podcast. And then my second thought was, damn, can I even do this again? Like, will I be able to be in the same mood, the same emotion, the same energy to speak so, seamlessly and with such ease? And a huge amount of fear came over me. And a little bit about me, I've struggled with anxiety for a very, very long time. Probably close to my whole life. I call it a lifelong relationship with anxiety. And I work very hard every day to counter that anxiety. And I've come very far. I've gotten pretty good at it. I have a very, very strict meditation routine, an exercise routine, a journaling routine, a lot of structure, mindfulness. I have a formula, per se. And I think that's kind of the direction of where this episode is going. It's to discuss that formula. Because what I've realized is when your formula becomes too rigid, it can actually exacerbate those feelings. And let me just try to clarify this a little bit. So immediately when I heard that everyone loved the podcast, this is how my brain works. And sorry, this is kind of crazy. I hope other people can relate. My brain goes to this. And this is maybe my perfectionist mentality. Okay, well, I went to bed at 10 the night before. I woke up at 6. I drank 32 ounces of water. I had a cup of coffee, drank about half before I started recording yesterday and finished the cup during the episode. I stretched before. So literally last night when I was getting all the good feedback, my body and my brain went to go to bed by 10 p.m., wake up at 6 a.m., this, that, and the other thing. And I was really about to full-fledged go on and follow this to a T, as if this was going to make this episode, hit the same way as yesterday's episode. And then guess what happened? I went to bed probably around 11. I would say it was a pretty good time. Set my alarm for 6 a.m. Didn't get up at 6. It's actually 9:05 right now. I think I got up around like 8:15. I saw my alarm go off at 6 and I woke up and I said, no, it's not happening. And guess what? The minute I saw that my alarm went off at 6 and I didn't get up, I said, I'm not recording the podcast today because I didn't do my structure. I didn't follow the formula. I didn't do my routine. Now, if anybody knows about, or if it resonates with anyone about God, the universe, and how things energetically work, the reason yesterday's episode went so well is because I was in a flow state, right? I didn't think too much into it. I woke up at 6, not planning to. I did go to bed early, but I had an urge at 6 a.m. to hit record and start recording the episode. And that was God speaking through me, telling me to go. And then the minute I started getting so meticulous with my structure, and don't get me wrong, discipline and habits are a must. But look what was about to happen. Because I was off my structure, I almost didn't record today. Just because I didn't wake up at 6. I didn't have my coffee at 6:15. I didn't stretch. I almost didn't do today's episode. And I realized what's more important, the structure to do the episode or me just doing it in general and developing a habit, right? So if I skipped today, that would have been, reiterating to myself that you can only do this if you do these series of events before. And I don't know if anyone's going to think I'm crazy when they're hearing this. They're going to be like, maybe other people don't think this way. And they're just going to be like, well, gee, you got to chill out. But no, this is real. This is really real. This is really how I'm feeling right now. And, this is why I don't have a name for this episode yet. I have a few ideas, but this is not an episode that was on my list. But I'm going to do this episode because I'm forming a habit right now. If I don't do this, if I don't record this, if I don't release this, and I've already had, anxious thoughts in my head that maybe my energy was different at the beginning of this recording, that I wish I was in a different place, when I had started this recording, that maybe I was even in a rush when I did start it. All these thoughts that, breed insecurity and, relinquish our own power. But this episode is going to come out. It might not be as, eloquent as episode 1, but this is today, and this is Major Mood, right? So the reason that the show is called Major Mood, besides the fact that it has a nice ring to it, is I have a lot of different moods throughout the day. And you could I typically chalk it off to anxiety, but maybe anxiety is the trigger for it, but it brings on a bunch of different emotions. And I think what I want to do with this podcast now is walk you through my journey of fear, and walk you through my experience of trying something new in my life. The same reason why I fell out of love with recording music for a bit is the same reason I almost didn't record this podcast today. My structure was too structured. I didn't have any flexibility. My therapist told me that once. I was in therapy for a long time, and my therapist said to me, you need to have flexibility with your structure. Because I was so, I was so focused on getting better that I was like, my friends call me militant. And I love that shit. I love being looked at that way because I am pretty militant. And, another video game that I grew up loving was Metal Gear. So if I'm anything like Solid Snake, let's go. That was... I love that type of tactical, focused mentality. I live off that stuff. But as I'm trying to get closer to God and get closer to a flow state, I am realizing that I need to pay attention and listen to the universe and really move in a flow state. And if I need to sleep till 8 and I still feel like recording this podcast at 8, even if it's not 6, even if my front door slams in my apartment, that's part of the reason why I recorded the other episodes so early, is to avoid noises in New York City. If my dog barks right now, he's sitting next to me, it's all gonna come out on this podcast. And I'm going to keep releasing and keep speaking my truth and walking everyone through the process of this new experience in my life, which is me being totally vulnerable with the fact that as cool as everything looks, as artists and as creatives, we live in fear. And every day that we create, we're overcoming that fear. And it's a beautiful thing. And I'm proud to be here. I'm proud to say this is episode 2. I'm even proud if I sounded anxious at the beginning of the podcast, which is what's running through my head right now. But that's what happens when you have anxiety issues. But I'm changing my life right now. And I'm getting closer to God and closer to that flow state where I follow my gut and my intuition. And where I trust that I have enough structure to stay disciplined and enough flexibility to stay spiritual. And to stay grounded while still being up in the clouds a little bit. And that's my goal. Sorry. My goal is to try my hardest to love what I do. And the minute I start mixing up inspiration with fear and overthinking, that's when this podcast will die. And that's when my soul dies. And at this new stage in my life, I'm ready to bear all. And I really hope this resonates, and I hope that people can take something from it where if you'd love something, try to stay in that love. Don't let the pressure of the outside world and, oh my God, can I do it again? They loved it so much. How do I get back there? How do I remain present? I'm present right now. And I think that actually is probably going to be what the next episode is about, because I don't want this to go over too much. I did have a plan to write about the importance of presence. And, people talk about it a lot, but I have some particular stories that I'd like to share, and that will probably be the next episode. But this morning, when I almost didn't do the podcast and I felt down on myself, I was not present. And last night, when I was so worried about if I was going to be able to be present again, I almost was the reason that I wasn't. So here I am. It's 9:14 a.m. No one set off an alarm in my building yet, even though it's not 6 a.m. And I'm wrapping up episode 2. And we'll see what I title it after I'm done lining this up. I don't know what I'm saying anymore, guys. I love y'all. And I hope you enjoy this. Have a blessed day. Let's get it.